My name is Haley Strahan, and I am the Director of Outreach and Student Services for the College of Engineering. This is an informational graduate session about our industrial engineering graduate programs. The goal today is to answer any of your questions as they relate to being an industrial engineering graduate student. Our guest today is Dr. James Curry, who's a professor in the Industrial Engineering Department. Also joining us is Stephanie Broussard, who is the Assistant Director for Graduate Recruitment. And she's here to answer any of your questions that related to the admissions process or any other general questions about the university. Your video is turned off and your mics are muted to ensure your privacy. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat function. Your questions will be open, but you may also select to send your questions to me, the host, to keep them anonymous. The questions will be answered at the question and answer time at the end, and they'll be answered either by me, Stephanie, or Dr. Curry, but we'll do our best to answer all the questions. We did invite a lot of students to join us today, and some of our attendees are applicants. Some simply inquired about the program, some are current undergraduate students, and we want to make sure that we fulfill everyone's needs with this presentation. If for any reason we don't get to your question or you have other questions that you think about after the session's over, please feel free to email Stephanie or Dr. Curry, and we will share those emails at the end. We're recording this session for posting on our website, and it will be closed captioned. So if you are in need of that service, you can look for the recording. So let's get started, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Curry.
Thank you. I'd like to first start with a video that describes sort of our graduate student experience. It's mostly my students, but it's true of all of the faculty members' students. And I think it gives a good idea of what Lamar is all about. So hopefully I'll do this correctly and be able to share this with you.
To answer the question, what a Lamar University industrial engineering graduate does, I'm going to call some of my former students to find out what they're doing, what industries they're working in, and what their experience at Lamar was truly like.
I'm working as a senior business operations analyst at one of the top telecommunications companies in the country. My job involves using operations research tools for solving various business problems for optimizing.
So currently I'm working in the maritime industry as a senior engineer at the corporate level, focusing primarily on occupational health and safety.
And I've been working as a front-end release engineer, like developing user interface and also managing my software updates for my company.
Currently I'm working in the area of data mining.
Right now I'm working as a shift in charge in a manufacturing company.
I'm doing a data manager.
I work as a senior operations research analyst. I got my job by the help of the education I got at Lamar University. Thank you, Lamar.
Math, programming, and solving a business problem together. That's what I did for my dissertation. That's how Lamar prepared me for this particular job.
When I was writing my data mining thesis class, over there I had to use Python. And during that time, I was exposed to Python programming, and then it helped me. And there was some other courses such as database design, and it was just algorithm. And then it helped me to develop a programmer's mindset.
Being at Lamar got me used to working with the multicultural workforce. It also taught me the benefits of collaborating with your team.
Student center, you can participate in activities. It made a real fun, adventurous time at Lamar University.
One thing is, like, the professors are really very helpful. If we have any questions, any doubts, we can ask any professor, and they are more than happy to help us.
Education from here ensures that you have a good return on investment on not only your money but the times that you spend. So the value that you get out of it is really enriching.
Okay, that was just a video that that I put together with some of my former students and other faculty members, students in the department. And the reason why I show it is that I think it's important to understand what industrial engineering is and where people go. And if you notice, a lot of them talked about software development, programming, and they also talked about different jobs that they were doing, solving some exciting problems in the areas of data mining, scheduling, production planning. And with that, I'm going to go through a presentation about the department and then open it up to a question and answer session at the end. So I am James Curry. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Industrial Engineering. My email is james.curry@lamar.edu, and this is being recorded on the 1st of June. Now, one of the first issues is people don't necessarily know what IE is. Some of you may come from a mechanical or different backgrounds. IE deals with things, but we also deal with people, finance, and information. And our degree teaches the skills, both engineering and software, to solve complex problems. And some of these complex problems are, how do I use software to improve a system, whether it's automation, data mining, optimization? What is the best way to manufacture a part? How do I use data to improve my business? How can I improve safety, quality of a product or a service? What services or products should I offer? What price should I charge? We have several people working in the area of revenue management who graduated from our program, who are setting the prices for airline tickets. How do I get my product to the customer, the logistics side of the equation? How do I motivate my best people? And how much inventory do I need in my supply chain? Where should I locate my plants and my warehouses? So IE covers everything from automation and robotics all the way up to corporate strategy. IEs find employment mostly in manufacturing, but they can also find employment in healthcare, banking, consulting, transportation, retail, and government. Recent IE graduates in our graduate program have found employment at many different companies. My students are working at companies such as Ford, Walmart, and a few are even teaching at universities. The average salary for an industrial engineer starting is somewhere between 60 and 75K for undergraduates, maybe slightly higher for graduate students. And the median pay of industrial engineers is $87,000 per year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Lamar ranks number 5 for return on investment, according to payscale.com. Lamar Industrial Engineering was ranked number 1 for best value by the SR Group due to low tuition and high mid-career earnings. Why industrial engineering at Lamar? We are an industrial engineering program with manufacturing, automation, supply chain management, business process improvement, engineering management, as well as operations research. If you look at many industrial engineering programs across the country, they tend to focus on operations research. But we are basically, if you look at our faculty, split almost students the software skills that are in demand by industry. We're a reasonably small department with about 50 graduate students and 11 faculty members with great research and a student focus. Most graduate students will be offered an out-of-state tuition waiver plus a $1,000 a year scholarship. And with this scholarship, the student only needs to pay in-state tuition, which is significantly lower than the full tuition at Lamar. Highly qualified graduate students will receive assistantship offers and fellowship in addition to, with a tuition waiver, in addition to the in-state scholarship. Our cost of attendance is typically lower than most universities. And if you look at our picture below, that's our new makerspace over in our Science and Technology building. We offer 4 degrees. One is a master's non-thesis option, which is 30 hours, 10 courses. We also have a master's thesis option, which is also 30 hours, which is 8 courses plus a 6-hour thesis. We have a master's of engineering management, which is a 30-hour degree plan. And then we have a doctor of engineering degree. And all programs have very flexible degree plans with very few core courses. I'm so proud of my students and what they've done, mine and all of the faculty members. Our students have done a wide range of things, and I'm just going to highlight a few of the recent thesis and dissertations. Everything from real-time face recognition in a constrained environment, text classification, data analysis, ranking healthcare providers, scheduling refineries, scheduling chemical waste incinerators. We had a student recently who completed a project of scheduling a manufacturing plant. And then on the manufacturing side, we have several faculty members who work on equipment, and they're doing really advanced things. We have one who's built a picosecond laser for micro machining. We have projects that deal with toolware, and we have projects that deal with developing a prototype prosthesis hand and micro grinding and various characteristics of manufacturing. We have several labs and centers. We have the Maritime Research Safety Initiative, which I'm part of, where we're currently doing a fairly large grant looking at safety aboard ships and safety culture, and how do we develop a culture which is conducive to safety offshore. We have the Center for Advanced Port Management and the Midstream Center, which do research in these critical areas, ports as well as midstream, which is how do you get oil from the well site to the refinery. We have a human factors and ergonomics lab. We have a micro machining lab, a robotics lab, a manufacturing lab, and various computer labs, as well as the makerspace. The pictures here are of a prosthetic hand made by one of our master's students. And then Dr. Liu's most recent machine tool that he made, which is basically a laser machine tool, which is capable of cutting extremely small features. If you look at that pattern that he cut into that material, that you can barely see it in the corner, but those are millimeter wide features. And that piece of equipment is 10 to the minus fifth is the smallest feature it can cut. Fantastic stuff. And that was taken with, I think, with our electron microscope. We have an incredibly flexible degree plan. The department allows students to take one course per semester outside of the department. You can go to the business school, you can go to computer science, you can go to other engineering departments. New, starting in fall, we've been approved to offer a machine learning certificate, and it doesn't add any credit hours to your degree, but if you take 4 courses in the area of machine learning, we'll give you a certificate to show that you're competent in this extremely important area of artificial intelligence, data mining, machine learning. We have 30-hour degree plans for both thesis and non-thesis, and our faculty truly are covering a range of topics, everything from manufacturing and automation to software development, which is sort of my area. I've had students learn Python, as mentioned in the video, JavaScript, R, SQL, data mining, optimization, statistics, quality. We have a faculty member who does project management and engineering management, safety, human factors, and ergonomics. And one of the neat things about Lamar is you can take a few courses in the business school where they teach SAP, which is used by many, many large companies to run their organization, as well as Primavera, which is widely used in the construction industry and the chemical industry for project management. So that concludes my slideshow. There's lots of opportunity here at Lamar. Our faculty members are doing exciting things. And I want to briefly go through our faculty members' biographies before I open the floor to questions. And if you go to our faculty members, we have Dr. Zaloom, who's our chair, and Dean Craig, who does safety and ergonomics. Dr. Zaloom does risk management. I do supply chain management, optimization, and software development. Dr. Liu does manufacturing, basically micro machining. Dr. Marquez does heuristic scheduling and supply chain management. Dr. Hamidi is extremely active in the area of reliability. She has several projects going on currently with corporate sponsors that are very exciting. Dr. Lee is doing work in human factors and ergonomics. Dr. Tokaz does resilience engineering and engineering management. And then finally, Dr. Bradley does nanotechnology, and Dr. Jensen, or Mr. Jensen, sorry, is a former plant manager who's focused mostly on process improvement. And then finally, Mr. Acute does manufacturing as well. So if you see, we have 2 people, myself and Dr. Marquez, and Dr. Hamidi, actually 3 who are in OR. We have 1 or 2 that are in manufacturing. We have 1 or 2 in management. So it's a broad faculty structure. So there's plenty of opportunity to learn in almost any area. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions.
We don't have any questions yet. Do you want to speak a little bit about what might maybe sets Lamar industrial engineering apart for a graduate school?
The real thing is we do a lot of applied projects. And this puts our students in a really good position when they go out to industry. And what I mean by that is if you look at the projects we're doing, in the recent past, we've done quite a few data mining projects across all the faculty members. Now we're shifting a little bit more to optimization and robotics, but those are the two areas we're really strongest in, as well as the actual machining. Other universities tend to be a little bit more on the operations research side. And operations research is great. It's solving problems with mathematics. But it's a little bit more of a specialized area in terms of job search. So that'd probably be our strongest point. Our next strongest point, at least for master's students, is we have a fair number of students who choose to do a thesis. And doing a thesis allows you to set yourself apart from the other master's students.
Gerard would like to know how long does it take Lamar to make a decision on the application for a master's?
Hopefully 7 days. You apply as soon as it gets through the process check. It's going to come to our Mary, who's in our college, and she's going to send it out to the faculty, and we turn it around the same day. So most people, I would say a week. Now you have to get your transcripts in. We've currently waived the GRE because of COVID, and I'm not sure whether we're going to reinstate that or when we're going to reinstate that. But today, a week would be the shortest time. Now, international students, remember, you have an entire process that's separate of the Lamar admissions process. You have to get a visa, and that process takes significant time. So if you're an international, I would definitely apply 6 months ahead. But for domestic students, 1 month ahead should be enough if you get your transcripts in.
And we have another question about the application for the DE program. Is that the same, or is it a longer period of time?
It would be the same for the DE program.
Okay. And we have another question about how many hours is the DE program, how many courses, and how many dissertation hours?
Great question. It's 61 hours total. Sometimes if you have unused coursework from your master's, you can transfer up to 6 hours in, but that's not true for all students. So I budget 60 hours total. 8 of those are actual courses, so that'd be 24 hours. And then you have 4 hours of seminar, and then the rest is research.
As a grad student, are you required to maintain a certain GPA, and are there any academic consequences for not maintaining a GPA?
Like all graduate programs, 3.0 GPA is fairly standard. It's required for graduation. Lamar's different. We do have grade replacement. So even if you fall below, you can more quickly get caught up with GPA. We're fairly generous on that front.
As a doctoral student, do I need to choose research supervisor now, or can I choose in another semester?
Sooner the better, but it's not necessary before you attend, obviously. Now, some students actually do choose a research advisor before they attend, in some cases, but in most cases, they come, they find the professor. Now, what gets you in trouble is if you don't choose a research advisor after your first year and a half, because at that point, you've done your coursework and you'll just spin to find a topic.
And can you talk about how the courses are offered and the availability of the courses? Are they online, on campus, time of day kind of thing?
Okay, Lamar offers usually 5 or 6 courses a semester for graduate students. Most of them are offered on campus. A few are offered on campus and online. And our MEM degree is entirely online and on campus. So the IE degree and the doctoral degree are technically on-campus degrees. The MEM degree is both online and on campus. MEM students can take business courses as well as computer science courses, as well as construction science and any of the engineering disciplines. So there's enough courses online between what we offer in the department and those other programs to cover you. And so each semester, I would say we offer about 6 courses face-to-face.
And let's see, I'm a domestic student currently, let's see. Is there anything you can do if you have been denied? Is there anyone you can talk to, or any way you can reapply or try again?
You can contact the individual faculty or the department chair to get an explanation if you got denied admission.
Are there any TA or RA positions available for master's students?
In all honesty, it's hard to get a TA or an RA position. We had a few recently, not TA or RA, but research positions, where master students participated in research. But you know, across the country, TA and RA positions for master students are difficult to come by. Obviously, if you impress the faculty, you have a chance. Now, what I would do if I were a master's student, though, is look for on-campus jobs, things like tutors in the math department or even the cafeteria. So there are opportunities, just not necessarily as official TA and RA.
Can a DA student at Lamar apply for the PE exam? DE student, sorry.
Yes. I'm not sure of the rules. Now, the DE exam in Texas is a little different because it's specific to the degree somewhat. And most of the time, industrial engineers don't apply for the PE exam. There are only special cases where you'd want to, if that makes. And the reason is industrial engineers don't sign drawings like civil engineers. If you're a civil engineer, you need a DE to work. If you're a mechanical or a PE, sorry, if you're a mechanical or an electrical, it's helpful. If you're an industrial or chemical, it's helpful, but not that many people pursue that avenue.
Okay, this is from a student who is coming in possibly from aeronautical engineering, and they want to know a little bit about engineering management and what their challenges might be coming from that background.
There are no real challenges in particular from an academic standpoint. What you want to do when you come in from any background is just establish what you want to learn. And when you say engineering management, that means many different things. It could mean everything from process improvement, Six Sigma, Lean, which those are important in aeronautics, all the way to project management. If you're interested in project management, you want to explore those tools. And the good news is we do have over in the business school, they teach Primavera, and you can take a course in that would help.
I have a student who is interested in data science, and he's looking at other programs that are masters in data science. Would this program allow him to kind of get a good focus in data science or data mining, if that's the area he wants to work in? Yes.
We have a machine learning certificate that you could use 4 of your courses towards that, which would even give you a piece of paper that solidified the fact that you were studying in that area. And the trade-off between doing a degree that's specifically data science versus an engineering degree, which is a little broader title, is complex. if you truly are passionate and only want to do data science, you're probably a little bit better off maybe with the data science degree, because their program you'd be able to do all your courses in data science, whereas at Lamar, you could probably do 5 or 6 or 7, and then maybe have a couple of engineering management courses. So there's a real trade-off there. Now, if the data science field ever goes cold, obviously the industrial engineering degree would be a little broader because it's a industrial engineering, which covers many things beyond data science. So that you could do process improvement, project management, even operations research, and it's a little bit easier to, it's a little bit broader. An employer won't go, oh, data science, well, we have 50 of those, we don't need any more. Whereas IE is much broader. So it's a trade-off. There's no right answer on that question.
How does academic performance affect the possibility of getting a assistantship?
A lot. For doctoral students, it's really a twofold test. If you don't get one when you first come, it's doing well with your advisor as well as academic performance. And academic performance really is based sort of on your advisor. If your advisor has funds, then that's great. They can fund you maybe with their own resources, but in terms of competitive resources for the department, it's really a contest to see which students are doing best. So let's say you came in and your first year you wrote a paper with your advisor. That would definitely put you at the top of the stack. They would have a strong argument that if there were funds available, that you should be at the first on the list. If you've been here 2.5 years and haven't picked an advisor, obviously that puts you in the opposite condition.
What if you don't have a background in engineering? Can you take leveling courses and take the master's program?
In some cases, yes. If you can take leveling courses, if you wanted, if you were assigned that, it would be in the admission letter. Directly contact either myself or Dr. Marquez, depending on which program, or Dr. Liu for the master's program, and we can determine what path works best for you. We don't typically accept many students who do not have an engineering background. There has to be a reason for that. Now, math is good. If you have a math background or a computer science background, those are usually interchangeable. We just want to make sure that we accept people who can do well in the program. But if you have any specific questions, reach out to the individual faculty members.
Is it mandatory that DE students publish their research in order to graduate? And if so, how many papers do they need?
We don't have an exact number. That's a hard question. Students have graduated without publishing anything. Faculty, we go back and forth on that. It has to be quality research, and whether you publish before you leave campus is a separate issue. Some colleges say you have to publish 3 papers before you leave, which is absurd because then you wind up with 3 below average papers potentially. We don't have a strict rule. Now, the goal is that all of our DE students should publish at least 1 paper.
Does Lamar have a provision for on-campus working for international students?
Yes, but within the guise of INS restrictions. There are some specific jobs on campus students can do, but there's the limits of 20 hours a week, and you would have, it's the same for every university in the United States, and that'd be really a question for the international office.
As far as applying, is there a time of year that you should apply, or can you just apply for any semester?
Undergraduate or U.S. citizens can apply basically anytime. International students should apply at least 6 months prior to wanting to attend. just because of the issues involved with immigration.
But you could start year round with any semester.
Yeah. You can start in the summer semester, fall semester, or spring.
And then Stephanie, it looks like we have a couple questions that might be better for you to answer, which is how do they register, and do they have to register before orientation day? You're muted still.
Thank you. So I pretty much assist with the enrollment or the admissions process. So from when students will apply through Apply Texas, and I contact them for their transcripts. And then once they are admitted, as Dr. Curry mentioned earlier, Mary is the person that would kind of assist with that registration piece. I actually don't register students into classes. They would have to contact their department in terms of meeting with their advisor and setting up when they could actually be advised. If a student doesn't know who to talk to in the department, I can definitely, point them in Mary's direction, and she can kind of divvy out where they need to go. Right. But that's pretty much, if they've already met with their advisor, then they should already know how to go about the enrollment process.
And yeah, you can reach out to me or Dr. Curry too, and we can help get you to the right place to get enrolled. This person says, I have 2 papers already published while I was doing my master's at Lamar. Is that included in the DE, or do you have to start over, I guess, with your DE if you've done a master's?
Well, the DE obviously is separate research from your master's. Obviously, if you publish 2 papers, that's great. And so you should have a jump start in finding an advisor and getting started on the next stage. But they're separate degrees, so the research projects would be separate.
And is there a time limit on finishing your master's, or how long does it typically take?
The master's, most students finish in a year and a half. It's 30 hours. And so if you're part-time, it could take you quite a while. If you're taking 2 courses a year, that would be 10 courses you'd finish in 5 years, right? If you're a full-time student taking 3 courses a semester, it should be 3, 3, and 2, or 3, 3, and 2 in the fall. So you could do it in 1 calendar year, and if you don't go in summer, it would be 1 calendar year and a semester.
And I just had a question about what our plans are for fall, as far as being back on campus or online, what we kind of are thinking at this point. Oh, Dr. Curry, I think you muted yourself.
Sorry about that. My math was wrong. That was 8 courses. It'd be 3, 3, and 4 would be 10, right? Because 10 courses for the master's degree. In terms of the fall, no one knows. Every indication is that we will be back on campus. Obviously, there are no guarantees in life, as we saw in the spring and summer. But I would hope that the classes will resume as normal.
Okay, well, it looks like that's most of the questions. Some of the other ones we will go back through. They're kind of more specific questions, and we can reach out to you via email and answer some of them. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, one time. Can you mention the continuing oh, yes. Stephanie wants to go ahead and mention the continuing Cardinal scholarship to you guys.
Hi. Okay, so the Continuing Cardinal Scholarship is a scholarship that I manage through my office. So it is for students that are currently undergraduate Lamar students. So if you are a student that has graduated, like let's say you graduated in May, and you're interested in starting this particular program for summer, well, summer's already going on, but definitely for fall. If you graduate within within 2 semesters and then you start that program, we can actually provide a scholarship for you. It's a $2,000 scholarship, and it's currently only for our Lamar students that have just graduated. You have to graduate with at least a 3.0 GPA, and you have to be doing a campus-based program. So you wouldn't be able to do anything that's like 100% online through like our AP academic partnership programs. So I know that there's some discussion about what's going on in the fall in terms of programs going online. So that wouldn't apply to this. So this scholarship would still be applicable to that, because this program is, engineering is not AP or anything like that. So if you are interested in more information on that scholarship, please reach out to me. Actually, several students should have already received a lot of information about it, because I've been doing like a series of, I don't know, 8 or 9 emails to students since like last August. So make sure you check your emails, and it kind of has information about the scholarship and what you need to do to qualify and what you need to do to apply.
Okay, and I am going ahead and share.
Can I give one piece of advice before we go?
Mm-hmm.
All students looking to attend, I would really go online, do a little job search on Indeed, not for the purpose of necessarily finding a job, but just to identify the skills that you want to have, and that'll get you prepared for what you want to learn. And getting that plan in place is critical. Students who have a good plan tend to be a lot more successful. And it has to be somewhat concrete. And I want to do X, and here's what I need to succeed. Here's what I'm going to learn at Lamar in terms of coursework, and here's what I'm going to do beyond Lamar to prepare myself. And really, that's a message we drive home with all of our graduate students, is that what you need to know goes beyond the course necessarily. And that's picking up maybe a software skill that's combined with, OR by itself is great, but when you add in a software skill to it, it becomes fantastic. And when you figure out those combinations of who you are and how the degree fits, you'll be in better shape than if you just come in and take 10 courses and get a piece of paper.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us and giving us all this information, Dr. Curry, and thank you, Stephanie, for putting this on. Okay, sorry about that. This is just some contact information if anybody wants to reach out with any further questions. That's my information. I can answer any general questions for you. Dr. Curry would probably be the best person to answer very specific questions about the Department of Industrial Engineering or any of the graduate programs. You can also reach back out to Stephanie. If you are interested in finding your admissions counselor, you can always come down here and they can direct you to the correct person to speak to. And then you can also visit www.lamar.edu/visit if you would like to look at any of our other sessions. Most of them right now are, as far as engineering, are undergrad, but we will be putting up graduate sessions for each of the departments. So if you're interested in seeing any of the other ones, that's where they'll be. Again, thank you all for being here with us, and we hope that we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.